Guys, welcome to the Disconnected, your number one hub for all things movies. We got Dave in the chat already. Sorry, Discovering Cinema. I was reading your name as I said that. My brain is disconnected from the rest of it. We were having a good me and Ryan were having a good talk. I said 2 Girls, 1 Cup passes the Bechdel test. And
last week we had like a 25-minute conversation on gay porn in a theater. Maybe let's not lead off with 2 Girls, 1 Cup this week.
Would you go see 2 Girls, 1 Cup in a theater with me?
So anyways, Lissa's here. What's going on?
Speaking
Sardis,
of
how are you?
Women. Hi, Lissa.
Eric, Dustin, how is everybody? Anthony, my man. It is it's an interesting day. How you been? I feel like we haven't talked much in the last 12 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, well, this week's been busy. I went to the doctor's yesterday, got an EKG done, got some blood work done. EKG came back great. Just waiting on the blood work. So I told my doctor, he thinks I have arthritis. I'm like having trouble gripping stuff. My hands are always numb. So I was like, do I need to take medicine? He's like, the side effects outweigh the benefits, and you're young, so just deal with it. I was like, awesome. That's always good to hear.
I told you when you told me that you were 82% crystalline caffeine and always will be.
Yes, I said there's something wrong with my kidneys probably, and he said, well, you're 82% crystalline caffeine, which I haven't had much. I've had 1 Monster today.
I mean, that's an achievement.
Sardis
watched Alien Private Eye, and it's a must for Peter Lorre fans. The director was full of himself in the interview.
Is that a good movie?
No, but it's not meant to be. It's a vanity project, essentially.
Okay, because the cover made me go, do I need this?
I mean, if you are into stuff like that, it's a very like Champagne and Bullets type film.
Okay.
It is all about the director. And one of the funniest things, he wanted to set out to make literally an alien film, but he wanted to like make the movie about the aliens coming to Earth, and they didn't have the budget for it. So he said, that is like the pre-story. We're going to make this story after they're already here. And the way that you can tell they're aliens is they have slightly longer ears. So, and because they didn't have a budget, that's how they made aliens. They just have like Star Trek ears.
That's cool. Let's go on, Foo. Good to see you. Foo linked me a website that got a hold of the script for Havoc, and I read it. It's pretty good. I'm excited. So I'll know exactly what happens. Obviously, you can't convey action.
Right. So, but you're not turned off, so that's a plus.
Not turned off. I don't think it's as. I don't think it's as. Because like the Raid 2 is I think it's a little complex. It just kind of throws you in, and you kind of just got to figure out who's who. It sets it up better, in my opinion. He thinks
the guy from Alien Private Eye thinks he inspired Kubrick.
Well, I mean, I think I'm hot, so I mean, we can all be wrong about everything. So,
Dustin watched Surf 2, and it was awful. Yeah, I've never really understood.
What is Surf 2?
There is no first film. It's just Surf 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is. Yeah, it's
just made the sequel right away.
Yep.
Is that a Vinegar Syndrome title?
Yep.
That's awesome. Dave, talking about something I know a lot about. Takeshi Kitano's Outrage trilogy. Yeah, fucking great set of films. Really, really good. I loved the ending of that series. Kitano's got a biopic coming out on Netflix, I think. They're making like a biopic about him. Because I think he got into a car crash or something. And that like half of his face is completely numb. He can't move it or anything. So that's why he looks kind of off now. And then they're bringing back to Takeshi's castle or whatever. So
had not heard that. That's interesting.
The Jan Gonzalez film. What is that?
The Altered Innocence titles from this month.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Since we're all talking about what we've watched, you want to talk about what you've watched?
Yeah, I watched this really awesome movie. This kind of goes into pickups. The Emperor's Sword. It's not awesome. It's not very good. It's literally the biggest I've ever seen all year. It's the action is okay. A lot of slow-mo. I forgot how annoying slow-mo is. You know what I mean? Just like,
yeah.
I'm on the wrong side. Oh shit. There we go. I'm on the right side. There you go. There you go.
It's because I always join first, and
Yes.
tonight I took a break and Flip joined first.
I literally texted him, I was like, where you at, bud? Because I don't know. But yeah, this movie was it's a Haya original, so I'm guessing they helped produce it. It was all right. It was okay. And then literally one of the fucking craziest things I've watched. Sean and I will probably briefly cover this on our next Talking Swords episode. But Kunoichi Lady Ninja.
Fu hated this too.
He hated it?
Okay, I don't want to spoil anything.
Fu, tell me what you thought about this, because I liked it. I just went with I think I gave it 3 out of 5. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And it's a 3?
Dude, there's like... I can't... It's very V cinema. So if you're not like a Japanese movie fan and you haven't seen a lot of V cinema, you're not going to like it. But if you have seen V cinema, you're going to be like, oh, that was actually cleverly... Like, there's some clever parts of this. There's like some nipples turning into ninjas and stuff in this movie. It's was thinking I inevitably stepped into a mirror universe.
I didn't realize that was going to mess up so many people. I will definitely be on time next week.
But yeah, this is a okay movie. The transfer is not very good, and they tell you due to the limitations of the original video source materials, this Blu-ray represents the best transfer available for us. It's one of the worst things I've seen this year. Fantastic, imaginative action, and everything else is shitty. Sadly, there's not enough action. What's also weird is that this is the 7th and final film in a series, and it's standalone. So, like, there's that too. It's the 7th and final film, and they put this out. So,
all right.
But yeah, I mean, Fu's right. It's terrible, but the action was enough for me to be like, man, that was really cool. Speaking of action, I watched Dreadnought. Fu and I talked about this. This movie does not know what it wants to be. It is a comedy. There's like some giallo elements in there. There's murder, and then there's Fu says there is nipple magic in Kunoichi Lady Ninja. But if you just kind of like go with it, it's fantastic. I think the final 20 minutes are incredible. But yeah, it just does not know what it wants to be tonally. And then Knockabout's the complete opposite. Knockabout is hilarious, and it's a comedy through and through, just straight through, a lot of fun. I think Dreadnought is the better film, but like I like both of these so far. These 2 new Eureka releases, and then decided to watch directed by Sun Chung, who's quickly becoming one of my favorite Shaw Brothers directors.
I saw your review on this.
Huh?
I saw your review on this.
Yeah. So this guy, Sun Chung, was directing comedies and musicals and a lot of crime movies, and then he decided to start with martial arts, and his first one ever was Judgment of an Assassin. And it's really plot heavy. The plot's actually interesting, and there are some spectacular fight scenes in this. I don't know if they use because some of the a lot of the Shaw Bros movies, when they're on sets, it's a lot of the same sets over and over again. It's like the tea house with the with the walkway on top, and you get like the same outside stuff. There's a couple scenes where it's like this outside temple, and I don't know if it's like a painted backdrop that they just filmed really well and was able to make it look legit. But I was really impressed. And he started doing martial arts movies kind of later into the Shaw Brothers career. Like his first one was 1977. So that's kind of towards the tail end when Shaw, before they switched to television. So
guess who's back?
How's Greece, man? How's Greece? Those pictures looked awesome, dude. All that food.
We were talking about that in our Discord today.
You have a Discord.
Maximus is saying, hey, what's going on? I don't think he's staying tonight. Lisa says she watched The Wolf of Snow Hollow, and I For some reason, I'd been dying to see that movie and then forgot I have it. I've not watched it yet. I
What
really
is
need
that?
to see this one.
That's
It is.
that's a good title.
Oh, what is the guy's name? Lissa, what is the dude's name that did that? He also did another movie right before this. His name's like Joseph or Joshua something, I think. And I believe he directed and acted in it. And the cover, I think, turned some people off. It's him in like a sheriff's outfit, and it's got like kind of like me right now, like red on one side and blue on the other. And it's at heart, it's a werewolf film. So it's supposed to be surprisingly great.
That's a great title for a movie, though.
Yep.
Oh, then, I did watch one more thing. I watched The Marksman with Liam Neeson.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
It's a movie that came out, I think, 2020. Liam Neeson plays a conservative man who finds out that not all Mexicans are bad.
That's the dude's name, Jim Cummings.
I gave it 1 star. I said, please, Lord, let me forget this movie. It's terrible.
I wanted to highlight Sardis's review. He says, I checked out Forrest Whitaker and how it ends. It never says how it started or ended, much less what it was. Left me with a question. That's fun.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie when it came out. I remember being pretty excited because I love Forrest Whitaker. But I don't even remember anything about that movie. Other than I didn't like it.
Forrest is generally pretty great.
He's great in everything. Him in that eye.
That's right. Written and directed by Jim Cummings. And I think the one before that he either just wrote and directed or also starred in. Either way. Yeah, he's supposed to be really talented. Stuff I watched. It is like a 2020.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. Stuff I watched this week. I rewatched Mail Order Murder: The Story of Wave Productions. This was put out by Saturn's Core through Vinegar Syndrome, and it's a documentary on a shot-on-video group where they literally get requests on what movies to make from people, and they make them a shot-on-video movie. And the documentary is fucking great. It's the exact type of documentary I love. Saturn's Core does some really great stuff. I hope more people check them out.
Oh, I forgot. I did watch a Vinegar Syndrome release. I watched their partner label. That guy, I forgot what the name is, that jackass-like guy. That whole documentary is on YouTube. And I watched it because I was like, I kind of want to get this. Really fucking good. Really endearing.
Nice.
I love that shit. It just makes you wonder what other stuff like that's out there. Like what other local cable only. Does that mean you could just have your own show on cable?
Theoretically, if you make the right friends, yeah. I mean, famously over the last like 20 years, I don't know if you know the comedian Chris Gothard. Do you know who that is? He is a stand-up that has done a lot of stuff, and he did a local cable access show that went out to quite a lot of people, and he had like indie punk bands play every night, not every night, once a week, and they would do random comedy sketch things, and it got so big it got picked up on like True TV to be a weekly show, and the TV show lasted like 2.5 years, something like that, and it was fucking incredible. And then Chris just got too busy and they canceled it, and he went to do other stuff, but they did amazing shit. Like the best episode, and I'm going to spoil this, but I think it's still free on YouTube. If you look up Chris Gothard, you'll find he did an episode where they brought and they had a live studio audience for this too, by the way. He brought a dumpster into this little studio, and he said, we have it was either 2 or 3 comedians. Your job over the next hour is just to figure out what is in this dumpster. And they spent like 20 minutes asking like nothing questions that led nowhere. And then somebody made some passing joke about Spider-Man and said, I'm going to laugh like crazy. Paul Giamatti comes out of there. And then they were talking about food and all kinds of other stuff. They opened it at the very end, and Paul Giamatti came out of the dumpster. He was in there the entire time, and it's incredible.
Dude, this makes me want to start my own talk show in Champaign.
Dude, exactly. It's that type of thing where like the two of us could start something like that and have like 40 people that watch every week. They're all local to Kansas City or Champaign, Illinois or something. And everybody, tunes in and then
it's fucking awesome.
Put it on YouTube, get a budget of like $300 each week or something. Yeah, it'd be great.
Sorry for interrupting.
Oh yeah. I was talking about what I watched. What else? I might do a review on this, so I'll keep this a little short. Red Rocket from A24. from Sean Baker, the same guy who did Tangerine and the Florida Project. It is fucking amazing. And the main reason is because Simon Rex is unreal in that movie. He encapsulates everything about this person that is just shitty at heart. It's one of those characters where he is an awful person, and by the end of the movie, you're like kind of rooting for him. But it is Sean Baker always kind of just does these slice of life movies where there's not really going to be a true ending. It's mostly just let's look at this person's life for this period of time, and it is incredible. I mean, they go into a completely different world in this little tiny town in Texas, and it is unbelievably shot. It is beautiful. He's got two different characters that he focuses on with Simon Rex, and with one, all of the colors are gray and drab and like methy. I was telling my wife that the entire time, like, this person is clearly meant to be looking like they're on meth, and she's heroin addicted and all
like
kinds
he's
of
from
stuff.
Florida.
Yeah. And then the other character is like a 17, 18-year-old, very coming up on life, doing everything, like the essence of happiness, and all of the colors surrounding this person, just beautiful, vibrant, colorful, and it is shot in such a way that really draws that to your eye. And it's just an amazing, amazing movie.
Florida Project was incredible. So I'm excited for Red Rocket. You know, it's a meme at this point where people like make fun of like A24 for being like they have like a cult like following.
Right.
But like they legitimately put out great stuff. So, and they're probably the most different, the most and I was just about to bring this up. Food watched Lady Bird. And he loved it this time.
A24, I would say, has been at very opposite ends of a spectrum. They've put out some of the highest of highs and some of the lowest of lows, and that's
what's
why.
A low for you?
A lot of their, I wouldn't even say like their beginning era, but things like
there's like a biker movie that they made that I didn't like very much.
Stuff, yeah, like Life After Beth was not that great.
First Cow was pretty good. That's technically a Western.
Yeah. That's Kelly Reichardt, I think, right?
I think, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What else did she do? She did
Meek's Cutoff.
Meek's Cutoff, yeah, that's a great fucking movie.
And that has a release through Oscilloscope, and it's fantastic.
Does it really?
Yep.
I'm gonna have to pick that up. I love that movie.
In fact, within arm's reach. Look at that.
Look at that. Damn.
And it has the making of Meek's Cutoff and the trailer. Not a whole ton of features, but it's a decent size release. And Oscilloscope, again, great stuff. This is a weird release. It's got a slipcover and then whole new art on the inside.
Love that artwork.
On a slip case, on a digipack.
It's a slip within a slip within a slip.
Look how this folds out too.
I love their logo for Oscilloscope. Oh man,
it's a great release.
That's a great movie. Have you seen
it?
It
is a good movie. Yeah. Watch this with the wife. Certainly a good one. I would say I'm not huge on a lot of modern westerns.
Well, a lot of them are pretty bad.
Yeah, that's why.
I just triggered another thing. I watched another movie this week that was terrible. Forgot the title. It's a Western by Saban Films. It was really bad. I didn't even log it on Letterboxd. I was like, I don't even want to say my thoughts.
I don't want proof that I watched this.
Exactly. I want to erase it from my mind, and I just did. But yeah, you're right. A lot of modern Westerns are pretty fucking terrible.
So I watched one more thing this week, and I saved this one for last because I watched this last night as part of a double feature, and I wanted to share in the glory with you that I finally watched Killing Them Softly.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lone Wolf and Cub.
No, of course not.
Did you like Killing Them Softly?
Yes, I gave it 4 stars. I think it was really well done. The tension in it was certainly really palpable. Yes. Brad Pitt was great. It was more of an off-character look for him. It was a very Brad Pitt type character. The big exciting part for me was seeing Richard Jensen being a part of this mob hitman mentality, and overall it was really good.
Also, James Gandolfini does a fucking great job in that movie too.
And
Rest in peace,
I mean,
Tony.
not that it's a gory movie, but when it's gory, holy shit, is it well
Pretty
done.
shocking.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is a allegory for capitalism, and it's just such a good fucking movie. I love it.
Yeah, some really good stuff. You want to go pickups?
I mean, yeah, I showed them off during what I watched this week. This is one of the weird weeks where I like watched what I picked up. I was like, hell yeah, time to dive in.
I got a couple, nothing huge, and I've already shown all the patrons these, so I don't feel bad. But I got in the Arrow, Rogue Cops and Racketeers.
Hell yeah!
Very interested to watch that. I will always take an opportunity to pimp out Mondo Macabre. Just got in their latest bundle. Need to watch all 3 of these as soon as possible. And then finally, I made a video about it last night. But Imprint Films, first of all, ridiculously good release. This is here. It is.
How big is that? Jesus.
Too huge. So looking at those 3 Mondo Macabre titles I just shared,
will they fit inside?
It is smaller than those 3 Blu-ray cases.
Damn.
Or sorry, it is bigger. Than all 3 of those. So this, let me just unbox this right now. I believe this has 2 or 3 different cases on the inside, even though it's one movie. There are multiple cuts of the film, multiple discs. There are 3 fully different cases in here, and that is too much. We don't need, like, The Wicker Man is great. We don't need 3 different cases for 3 different cuts of the film.
3 different cuts?
God, there might even be 4. Okay, so there is the final cut, the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and then a special features disc and original soundtrack CD.
Still 3 cuts for a fucking okay movie?
That is insanity. And then the
Are
video
you a big
I made.
fan of that movie?
I love the Wicker Man. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah. I love weird music, and the Wicker Man is full of weird music, so that was a big plus for me. The reason I made the video yesterday is I got in a nice sized box from Imprint. I ordered it directly. I've bought every single thing they've ever sent me, and I was opening the box, and in this little corner, there's this little black box. I was like, "What the hell is that?" Saw this thing on the side, pulled it up, and there is a coffee mug of The Gambler.
Oh.
It's got the Imprint logo, on the inside, and taped to it is this little card that says, your amazing support of Imprint Films has not gone unnoticed. We hope you like your complimentary gift. I've never seen a boutique distributor do anything like this, and
not even
obviously,
Vinegar Syndrome?
I mean, they throw in like stickers, but nothing like this.
Wow.
That is huge, and I had to make a video about it. I've never gotten any like review copies of anything in my life. I've never gotten anything for free for these. I appreciate all of that, but in all reality, this is a wonderful company, and I really hope people.
Now, do you have every Imprint release? You did at a certain point, didn't you?
No, I think I'm missing 1 or 2.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's wild.
Yeah.
We have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
by the way, this is an intervention.
Yes. I'm complete Shaw Brothers martial arts movies now.
Jesus.
I'll be doing a video. I say I'll do a video, but I probably won't do a video. But yeah, I now own every martial arts Shaw Brothers movie. So,
congratulations.
I don't know if that's a congratulatory thing.
Yeah, and neither is mine. I mean, this is all a facade. Like, behind me, it looks really clean. Everything else in this room, like, there are stacks and stacks. And...
Oh, you should see the shelf I use, dude. You can't even tell. It's insane. Nothing looks organized. But I know where everything's at.
Me too, I think. Anyway.
Well, at least with Vinegar Syndrome, you have an entire shelf.
Yeah, that's true. The hard part is the shelf is full. And so I got to the end of the shelf, and then I started the next month was stacked on the bottom row, and then the next month went next to it. And so now they're just stacking on top of the old releases, kind of in order.
Kind of in order? Now, wait, do you have Vinegar Syndrome organized alphabetically or by release?
Catalog order.
I like that. I like that. PMCA, Physical Media Collectors Anonymous. With that many Shaw Bros. Movies, I can only imagine a series of videos. I mean, I would like to, but I'm so busy. The doctor did tell me I need to sleep more. He was like, you need to sleep and cut out carbs. And I was like, doctor, I'm Italian. How the fuck am I supposed to cut out carbs? And he laughed at that. So, but yeah, I would like to do like a video like breaking down like the 60s and then like break down the 70s and then the 80s and then a little bit of the 90s. They didn't do too much, but yeah, it's cool. I've seen all of them except for like maybe 20. So yeah,
That's crazy.
you know what's even crazier is that there's like not truly a bad movie in that bunch. Like I have never like watched a Shaw Brothers movie, and besides the musical, but I'm not counting that, and been like, this is objectively a terrible movie. There's been some that are okay, some that are incredible, and then some that like get no recognition like this that I was just blown away by. I was like, holy shit, this is an incredible movie. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can't tell because of the way the art is, but the best fake eyebrows I've ever seen in a martial arts movie is in that movie. Do you want to talk about animated movies?
I think we should.
Okay.
So we were trying to think of a good thing to mix it up tonight. We've got something pretty interesting planned for a couple of weeks from now.
Time out. I want to bring this up.
Okay.
A lot of people are upset by this, but he's remaking his own movie. Why are you upset? If John Woo is going to remake, I think his second best movie behind Red Cliff, I think The Killer is way better than Hard Boiled. With 2022 technology, that's fucking awesome. I don't understand why people are so upset by this.
Right. And we talked about this in the Discord again today. Some of the best movies have been remade by their own creators. I mean, Sam Raimi did it, Howard Hawks did it, Haneke did it with Funny Games.
What did Sam Raimi do?
I mean, technically, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 are the exact same movie.
Raimi, I saw a review for the new Doctor Strange, and the person said this is 100% a Sam Raimi movie.
Made me more excited, and supposedly it's going to piss off a whole bunch of MCU fans.
I think all movies can be improved upon. I think John Woo gets circle jerked into hell, especially The Killer and Hard Boiled. More so Hard Boiled, but both of those movies have a lot of faults and can be improved upon tenfold. I completely, wholeheartedly disagree.
So, now animation?
Okay.
So we were trying to think of something to come up before this week and next week, and then the week after that we've got a really cool thing planned, and it's gonna be fun. So make sure you tune in on the 17th. But for tonight, we kind of have been talking about directors and very heady things for a while. So to make it sort of fun, we said, why don't we do 5 best animated films? And I said, you know what? If we really do this, it's all going to be Pixar. So let's make sure we do this 5 best non-Disney, non-Pixar animated films. And
yep. And Ryan tried to superimpose no anime on me, but I was like, come on. I was like, dude, come on. What? You know what I mean?
I only said that because all 5 of yours were going to be anime.
I think all 5 of mine are anime.
Oh, that's perfect.
Just kidding.
So, Sardis brings up some options. He says Wizards, which is Bakshi, and then Fantastic Planet and American Pop. There's some really good ones out there.
We're doing just movies, right? Not
just movies.
Okay.
And all of mine, most of mine are at least not just geared towards kids, but at least geared towards adults as well. And I'm not going for like straight DreamWorks style cartoons. Although one of my honorable mentions is a DreamWorks style cartoon that I wanted to talk about because it never gets enough love, but it's not good enough to be considered top 5 for me. So, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first. I want to say the reason why I love anime so much versus like American style animation or like American produced cartoons or whatnot is that Japan embraced since the 60s animation for adults. And I
Right.
mean, even still today, it's seen as kind of a negative, it's like a children's thing here in the States. But, if you like animation as a kid and you grow up and you're like, oh, it's all kiddie, you can look to anime for some really good, mature stuff. And I think the 90s specifically was incredible. And one of those movies is Wicked City. So that's my first pick. Wicked City, directed by a guy whose last name is Kawajiri. He's probably my favorite animation director. Studio Madhouse produced it. They're famous for Cowboy Bebop. And what I like about this movie is that it is a noir. It's a neo-noir, right? The way it's filmed, it's a lot of purples, a lot of blues, very moody. But there's these aliens in this movie. And it's about a guy hunting them down and killing them. There is a woman at the beginning whose vagina is like a giant teeth trap. But it goes places. It's violent. It's gory. And it's really fucking engaging. I mean, my wife doesn't like that type of stuff. She watched Wicked City and was just enthralled all the way through. So I would highly recommend it. And that's got a U.S. release. That's got a release from Discotheque. So
Nice.
Highly recommend you guys check out Wicked City. There's Demon City Shinjuku. Fu says Wicked City is wild. It's incredible. When you watch it, you'll be like, if you have not seen anything like this before, let me rephrase this. If you haven't seen anime from the 90s, like the violent stuff, you're going to see this movie for the first time and go, I've never seen anything like that. What look on Ryan's face?
I think it was just blown away. There are a lot of obviously I've still not stepped into anime, and I'm not against it. I am planning on watching it soon. And I've already decided my first one I'm watching is Perfect Blue. And
dude, I mean, that's on my list.
And Ben Grimm did say that as well.
I'm gonna take it off my list, but I think that is the perfect non-anime fan movie to introduce people for the first time. Like, I think you are going to fucking love that movie. You are going to love that movie, Ryan. It's a David Fincher ass fucking movie.
Yep.
It's so fucking good, dude. And it holds up. Like, that's the thing is that with animation, I think more so specifically anime, there are certain time periods where the animation does not hold up, as time goes on. Perfect Blue is at the cusp of that, where it was just at the right time.
There are a lot of good options here on the side too. Hilton brought up one that I've never heard of. This sounds amazing. Favorite animated film is the Italian version of Fantasia called Allegro non troppo.
Hey, Tay, you remember that anime we watched called Perfect Blue about the pop singer who's getting stalked? You remember? Even my wife really liked it. So,
Sardis says Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell is great. Taylor also watched Ghost in the Shell with me. Good, nice one, Tay. The sequel, Ghost in the Shell 2. Did you hear that, Ryan?
I did not.
Okay, Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence is an incredible movie, but it's a straight up noir. A lot of Ghost in the Shell is very noir-esque, but Ghost in the Shell 2 is like this incredible story that's just engaging. The major is not even really in the movie. The only iffy part is that it's at that time it's that time where Japan was like trying to get into 3D animation in a really cool way, and they couldn't nail it down for a couple years. But I want to say, Ryan, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex season 1. There's a second season. It's all right, but every single
I didn't even know there was a show.
So, dude, Ghost in the Shell. We could spend 3 hours right now talking about Ghost in the Shell.
Please don't.
But I won't. But Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, the first season is the best police procedural outside of The Shield. It is incredible. Every episode is standalone. They're highly detailed and very well animated. The stories are engaging, and it's honestly one of my favorite shows ever. Period. Is Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Interesting.
I ate them. Yes.
So my number 5 is the Lego Movie.
Whoa, good pick.
I think that the Lego Movie kind of took me by surprise because I was really ready for it to be absolutely crap. It was such a shock to see good music, really great voice acting, but the way that it's filmed and the way that everything was done so perfectly is astonishing to see. And not only was it great in the theater, but it really looks good in home video on a nice big TV, good OLED with a lot of really deep colors. And man, I mean, those bricks in the background, they are incredible to watch. It is so rewarding on a rewatch too, because there's so many small details that come out. And the whole, I mean, honestly, the whole Lego movie universe following that first one, include like the Lego Batman movie is great.
It's that's my favorite out of the Lego universe movies, and it has no right being as good as none of these movies have any right being as good as they are.
Lego Batman movie might be legitimately like top 5 Batman movies of all time.
I would say top 3.
Jeez, I wouldn't for sure. But I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's a really good sort of franchise series, whatever. But genuinely, the way that they brought the characters to life, it could have sucked so much worse than it did, and it's just great.
I love that movie. I think that came out 2015.
You know what? I think it was 2014, and I only say that because my wife and I saw it in the theater before we had our kid.
Your first kid?
Yeah.
Because I saw it in theaters too. Now she's out of the room. I think I was on a date. But yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, love that one. And the fact that Lonely Island did the theme song, yeah, it was 2014. I love that. I've always enjoyed the Lonely Island and Sandberg and that whole group.
It's my Lego in a box. My Lego in a box, babe. My number 4 is kind of a cheat because I'm picking a puppetry show, a puppetry movie, and it's called Thunderbolt Fantasy: The Sword of Life and Death. So this is it's the movie that you watch after the first season that kind of sets up a lot of the big stuff in the second season. You can watch it standalone, but ever since I found out about, I mean, puppet shows have been a part of our life forever. You're a big fan of the Muppets. I grew up with the Muppets. Dark Crystal was extraordinary.
Yeah,
sad that they didn't do a season 2, and but when I saw Thunderbolt Fantasy, my mind was fucking blown by how they were able to film action like this. I've shown Ryan clips of this. I showed Foo for Thought clips of this. Foo loves it. I actually gave him the access to my Crunchyroll account so he could watch Thunderbolt Fantasy, and we'll probably eventually cover it on our podcast. I love it, but this movie is just so much fun. It's much better than the second movie. But yeah, if you guys are even remotely interested in like puppetry and puppet shows, I think this is the height. This is the climax of what you can do with puppets. Incredible.
It's awesome.
It's just, and it's got a really good story too. It's a Chinese wuxia story written by a Japanese director, animated by Taiwanese puppeteers. So it's awesome. I love Thunderbolt Fantasy. My
number 4 is Coraline. I have such a deep, rich history with Coraline. I love it. The recent release by Shout Factory is fantastic. Brand new features, new like making of featurettes, interviews, all kinds of stuff on there. The biggest thing for me is it's Tim Burton-esque stop motion film done in a way that is At heart, it's fairly adult. Like, there's some really creepy scenes in Coraline.
Yep.
It's got a genuinely, like, psychologically thrilling storyline to it, and I think that it is a really good gateway horror movie for kids. And my kids watched it. My kids both seem to enjoy it. And there's so much in that movie that sticks home for me, considering the way I was raised, and the fact that parents can have such an absolutely devastating effect on the way that people are raised and psychologically handle themselves for the rest of their lives is yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
I'll stop there.
What we're trying to say is fuck parents.
Yeah, basically.
Except us.
I mean, unless you're talking to my wife.
Are you turning me down? That's a good pick. Coraline, I think it's weird when like I was in high school, there was like diehard Coraline fans.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the weird goth girls who loved Avenged Sevenfold as well loved Coraline.
Yep.
You know exactly what I mean.
Yep.
Like Backcountry's great and Coraline's awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, I enjoy Coraline quite a bit. Yeah, it's a good movie.
I got to admit, from the same Leica Studios, I've still not seen Kubo and the Two Strings.
Dude, that's a good movie.
Supposedly it's even better, but
I love that
really
movie. I saw that.
Have
I told the story about how I saw that movie?
Maybe, because I know we've talked about it a little bit.
We drove to go see the Final Fantasy movie, like 45 minutes, Kingsglaive. And it was something wrong with the fucking projector. So they were like, hey, here's a free ticket to whatever movie. I'm like, we're not coming back. So, because we live so far away. So I was like, you just want to go see Kubo and the Nine Strings? And he was like, all right. We watched it. And I was like, holy shit, that was surprisingly amazing. So.
Nice.
My number 3. Can you guys guess? It's Dragon Ball Z Super Broly. No, I'm kidding. It's not that. My number 3, it's tough because I want to talk about Kawajiri the whole time, and I don't want to overflood this list with Kawajiri specifically, but Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is one of the best animated movies of all time. It's a sequel. You don't have to watch the sequel to get it. There a lot of this property is based on a series of novels. The novels are pretty standalone. They kind of just take stories from the novels and retell them, but it is the most. It's basically like the foundation for what the Castlevania anime was. Like, I mean, a lot of it is ripped straight from Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. It's violent. It's very gothic. It's ethereal. It's got some great fucking music and beautifully animated. Again, I think by Studio Madhouse. So they are my favorite animation studio of all time. If has anybody seen Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust? A lot of have you seen Blade 2, right?
A long time, like maybe in theaters.
So like that group of vampires that help Wesley Snipes, a lot of them were based on characters from this movie. Like the guy with the big hammer with the blade that pops out of it. That character is straight up, ooh, awesome, Dustin. Let me know how you like it. That guy is straight up ripped off of one of the characters from the opening of this movie. It is violent. I mean, violent. It's so over the top. Yeah, see, thank you. Man, there's surprisingly a lot of anime fans in chat tonight. I'm loving it because usually it's crickets and it's just me gushing about a movie. But yeah, Kawajiri, he hasn't directed anything in I think like 2 decades. I think this might have been his final directorial work. He just like works on like storyboarding episodes and animation and stuff. So. But he is like a higher up at Madhouse. He's one of the founders. So, but yeah, that's my number 3.
My number 3 is it was mentioned in the chat earlier, and I didn't highlight it on purpose for fear of messing up my list. My number 3 is Batman: Mask of the Phantasm.
Fucking love. I had the VHS of that. I love that movie.
Growing up in the 90s, we were spoiled. I mean, some of the absolute best TV animation was coming out, and Mask of the Phantasm, it was kind of unheard of to be able to make the jump from an animated TV show to something that a lot of people forget was literally released in theaters. And to make that jump not only to the theaters, but to be better than a lot of the episodes of the show, which is literally top tier Batman. Mask of the Phantasm is one of the most emotional Batman stories ever. It is starkly beautifully animated. The voice acting is still top notch. Obviously, Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and everybody else that's been involved in it is at the absolute top of their game. All of the Dini stuff and everything that was happening in the 90s with Batman just solidified that character for me. And Batman the Animated Series, for those that have not seen it, got an incredible Blu-ray release a couple years ago. And if you really want to dive in, the way that it blends seamlessly from that to the movies to the continuing DC animated universe, the evolution is great. It's one of the, I mean, for me, honestly, it's the best part of DC is anything that they ever did animated. I've never really been able to get into anything DC other than Batman, other than the animation. And it was always so well done. But that movie, it was something special. I mean, it to be able to cross over into such a mainstream audience and be a genuine, like, not like a hit. They didn't make hundreds of millions at the theater or anything like that, but it got through, and it has an actual a big reputation for being one of the best Batman stories ever.
It's also extremely mature for.
Oh yes,
when that came out, I was blown away by how mature that was.
Yep.
Fu says Gotham by Gaslight was surprisingly good. Gotham by Gaslight's the source material is illustrated by Mike Mignola, who went on and created Hellboy. So he's one of my favorite creators.
Nice.
My number 2 is probably the newest movie that I've talked about. I think it's the newest movie. Promare. Have you heard of Promare?
Of course, yeah. Holy
fucking shitballs, dude. This movie is unlike anything I've ever seen. Studio Trigger are absolute madmen. They've done Kill la Kill, Space Patrol Luluco. They've done Gridman, Dianizon. They've done so much. They're wild. But Promare is just climax after climax after climax. Just like just continuous action, continuous mind-blowing parts. The best theme song I've ever seen in an animated movie ever. I still have it. It's like it was one of my most played songs of last year, the year before. It's an incredible movie. Have you seen Promare?
I have not, of course.
You should watch it with the kids. It's incredible. It's incredible, and I think they love it. It's one of the most stylistically one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Love it.
Interesting.
Oh God! Honorable mention to Gantz. Oh, have you ever heard of Gantz?
No.
Gantz is my second favorite manga of all time. Incredible series. The movie, it used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is anymore. It's, I think, the best use of 3D animation ever. It's just mind-blowingly good. I love Gantz. Gantz is too fucking crazy to explain. It's like these people die, and they're resurrected in this room with a big black sphere in the middle, and then they're given it's still on Netflix. Great. They're given these suits, and they're given weapons. And these weapons, when you pull the trigger, it doesn't automatically shoot out anything, but like this beam comes down and destroys the thing. So in the manga, they're hunting aliens, right? They're hunting like these aliens are invading Earth. And at first, it's like small aliens. Like there's this one called the Onion Alien, and it's got onion head. It's kind of goofy. There's one that's a robot, and it's modeled after like one of Japan's biggest like comedy singers, but it looks just like him, and it's like singing his songs. And then it gets into the Buddhist temple arc, where these gigantic Buddha statues come to life and fuck everybody up. So with Gantz, after you get to a certain amount of points, you can resurrect somebody, or you can revive in real life because you're dead technically. You can revive fully, and you'll have your memory erased of what happens. And this manga is 37 books long. It's fucking long. I read it in 2 nights because I was so fucking blown away by what I was seeing. And then it goes, not the movie, but the manga goes places like there's vampires in this series. There's telekinetic people that can like control shit with their minds. There's a character, a Japanese guy who puts on blackface and goes and massacres people in Shinjuku because he wants everyone to not think it was a Japanese person. It's so wild. And then the end is there's giant mechs, like skyscraper sized mechs. There's giant spaceships that come in, and the aliens are like 12 feet tall. It's the craziest shit ever. And you get a little slice of that in Gantz. I love it. Actually, can you Google Gantz hard suit? That's with a Z. Hard suit.
One more time?
Like hard like my penis. Like hard.
Gantz.
Gantz.
All one word?
Gantz, yeah.
That's what I said. And then you want images?
Yeah, pull up the hard suit. It's so cool. It's got like these dreadlock shit. It's got blades on the elbows, and like when they fight, they're like, "Oh, dude, it's so fucking cool, dude."
You've got Dustin all excited. All right, is there anyone?
Dude, yeah,
you want blown up?
Just pick one. Yeah, look at that. That's one of the things that you can unlock with enough points. It's so fucking cool, dude. Goddamn, Gantz is awesome, and all the girls are super hot, big boobs. All that it ticks all the boxes. Isn't that cool as fuck though?
Yeah.
You see that in the anime briefly, but yeah, it's awesome.
Interesting.
It's so cool. Sorry guys, I just went on I love Gantz. Sorry.
You don't be sorry. I mean, that's what the show's all about, adding things like this and having people discover brand new. I mean, I've never even heard of Gantz. That's fantastic.
Awesome.
What's going on, Punk Ron? Okay, so we are on number 2 for me, and my number 2, what was it? Okay, so my number 2 is a kind of a big deal one for me, and that's because it was one of the bridges from really good film that, as you know, a lot of people, when you're like, I don't know, for me it happened maybe a little early, like 12, 13, you start discovering some of these they're commonly referred to as film bro type movies, and discovering one of these and then seeing a animation film that took a lot of inspiration from one of them come out afterwards really made me appreciate Rango.
That's a good movie.
Johnny Depp and everything that happens in Rango is maybe one of the, I mean, I'm saying it clearly right now, one of the best animated films of all time. I think that the animation holds up. It is beautiful. I will make the call right now that I really wish we could get that in 4K. I can't imagine what the colors would look like in HDR, and potentially maybe a little bit of some better resolution. It's not bad or anything like that, but that is a gift to humanity. The story is well done. The way that the characters interact with each other is unreal. Like, if you watch the way that they, it's clearly a cartoon, so they exaggerate a lot of the features, but the way that they do it, it should not look as good as it does. You know, giant eyeballs on the side of a head moving around in a way that looks realistic, but emphasized in such a weird way. Yeah, Rango is a magnificent treat, and it's one that I never got to see in the theater, and it makes me sad. And it's obviously, that's not one of those catalog titles that they're like sprinting to show at most theaters or anything. So I'm not sure I'll get another chance.
Bro, I thought you were going to say Fantastic Mr. Fox.
And that was one of the reasons why I alluded to that, and that's because of the other Criterion release, for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The whole opening act of Rango is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and that is clearly a film bro movie. But Fantastic Mr. Fox is good. I don't love it. I
love it. I think it's great.
I to be fair, I need to watch it again. It's been quite a long time. But that's enough. Rango's beautiful. I hope everybody watches it if you've never seen it. If you haven't seen it in a long time, give it a rewatch. It holds up for sure.
My number one is Despicable Me. Love that movie.
Mine is the sequel Minions. So
I love those little blue guys. They're so cute. Or sorry, yellow guys. They're so cute. I love them. They're awesome. It's so funny. It's such a good. No, psych. Fuck that shit. I'm just kidding. That's not my number.
Nobody
one.
believed that.
I should have. One of these days, I'm going to do something like that and just let it play out for an hour and then call back to it and be like, I'm just kidding. No, my number one favorite animation film of all time, it's been this for years, is Ninja Scroll. It's, I think, one of the coolest things ever produced by another human. Directed by Kawajiri, again, he's on this list 3 times. But it is everything that I love. There's ninjas, there's samurais, there's demons, there's blood, there's rape, there's hyper violence. It's just, and it's got a real it's got a character. The main character is Jubei. He's the character that he is the, let me see if I have it right here. If I don't, I'm not even gonna bother. Yeah, I don't have it right here. But Jubei is the character that Sonny Chiba plays in Shogun Samurai and in the Yagu Conspiracy TV show. It's a real person that existed in history. He's like Miyamoto Musashi. Not much is known about him though, because legend is he lost his eye in a battle. Ended up killing the guy, but he lost his eye. So he wore the person that he killed's hilt of his sword as an eye patch over his eye. And then he disappears for like 20 years. There's no record of him anywhere. And then he just reappears with this new sword stance, this new style, and just fucks everybody up. But Ninja Scroll, I think, is it's the best example of hand animation, not CG, not computer. Every second was animated by someone, and it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. I think it's the best animated movie of all time. There's a TV show that's not very good. That was kind of a sequel to it. Doesn't have the same atmosphere, style to it. So I recommend Ninja Scroll. It's incredible.
I've heard you talk about it many times, and
you gotta see it, dude. Just rent it. Rent it. It's incredible. It's amazing. No, Akira. No. Here's the thing. I love Akira. But it's not a good adaptation of its source material. I think the manga is mind-blowingly good.
I mean, does that make it bad though?
No, but when I'm watching Akira, it's like, man, could you imagine if they had this much budget and this much talent behind an actual adaptation? And they were supposed to. It got announced like 6 years ago that they were going to fully adapt Sunrise, the studio behind Gundam, was going to fully adapt Akira, and nothing ever came of that project. Very disappointed about that. But yeah, Ninja Scroll I think is much better than Akira. I think everything on this list is much better than Akira. I think Akira's story in the movie is not good. I think animation-wise, it's gorgeous. There's no doubt about it. It broke boundaries. They created colors. Like something like over 100 colors were created for that movie. But I don't even think I owned it. I think I sold by 4K. I had the 4K came out. It came out in Japan first. The US release uses the same master. It's DNR'd to hell. So I was like, just get rid of it. Doesn't look that good. What's your number one?
Isn't that really a surprise? We've talked about it on here.
Mitchell's and the Machines?
No. That. Hold on.
Whoa.
We have an honorable mentions list too. My number one has topped another one on my list on the show before, and it's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, duh. Fucking idiot. Duh.
It is my favorite of all time. I think that it is one of my favorite 4Ks. I think that the animation styles that are all aplenty in that film make it absolutely essential viewing. I think that even the people that are put off by the MCU and turned away from comic book films and completely burned out on all of that can find so much to love and adore in Into the Spider-Verse. And that's why I am gutted that it's the second one's not coming out this December and we have to wait until next year. But I can't wait. It is such a beautiful movie, and the fact that they're continuing it and keeping so much of the same team is kind of surprising nowadays. But I'm just glad that they're doing it and we can get more.
And Japanese Spider-Man is going to be in that, and in Into the Spider-Verse 2, which is a big deal because Tokusatsu fans like Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, Japanese Spider-Man is the reason why Power Rangers, the Super Sentai series, got mechs. They gave Spider-Man a fucking mech.
Yep.
For whatever reason, and it's great. It's so cool. If you guys have not seen any of the Japanese Spider-Man, which is called, it's called Spider-Man, like the way you pronounce it, it's great. It's a gem.
Any honorable mentions? You wanna mention anything else?
Anything by Kawajiri, Demon City Shinjuku, short series like series are right. Each episode's movie length. Genocyber, you watch a whole entire school of children get shot up into bloody bits in that show. It's awesome. Cybernetic Guardian Angel by the same director as Genocyber. Pretty much anything he's done, just hyper violent. Gundam, I think the perfect entry point is the 8th MS team. A lot of Gundam is a lot of lasers, but this is like Vietnam War with mechs. There's the real bullets. It's great. I love it. Yeah. Ryan just sent me a link. I need to get that tonight.
Anything else other than them?
I mean, I could talk about anime all night. I think we should have a whole anime episode. I love mech anime, so anything like Armor Trooper Votoms, anything by Go Nagai like Mazinger, Devilman Crybaby, Devilman the OVAs, Sword of the Stranger, absolutely incredible film. Shigurui, Death Frenzy, and then even some more like slice of life stuff like Laid Back Camp's pretty good. Haikyuu's good. That's a volleyball anime that I really like. Attack on Titan. But yeah, that's about it.
I've got a few. One that I wanted to throw out there was Mitchell's versus the Machines. That was literally my number 6 when I was making my list. I think the animation style on that, and you can feel Lord and Miller's presence over all of it. I think it was the best. I think it is the best animated film so far to capture this generation and sort of the things that they're facing. Obviously, the whole alien and robotic takedown, whatever, is not realistic, but the actual interactions, social interactions, the way that a lot of their stuff is displayed for their peers is certainly up there. Another one, I mentioned that I wanted to share a DreamWorks film that doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, and I really didn't like. This isn't a real honorable mention, but it's one that is genuinely decent from DreamWorks. Over the Hedge. I love Over the Hedge. I think it's got a really good voice cast. It is clearly made for kids, but it is hilarious. Wanda Sykes, Thomas Hayden Church, Steve Carell. There is who else? There's a couple other really funny people in that, but it's animated really poorly because of when it came out, and DreamWorks was still pretty new, and all of their money was going to Shrek. But other than that, it is really good. Yeah, funny story, pretty unique idea. And then my last one is South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut is genuinely a great movie. It is not one that
took me to realize that was a penis joke.
Wow. Genuinely a good movie, really good music. Obviously, the two of them are creative geniuses, and they have been able to go God, I don't even know what year that came out. It's probably almost
99.
20 years. Okay, so 23 years
I
since
think.
then.
I'm taking a guess.
I thought it was post 2000. Let me take a
I'm
look.
going to say that's the only good musical.
It's the only good musical?
Period, yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Cosmo.
Oh, it is 99. Wow.
Look at that. Autism. It sometimes is helpful.
Yeah, it's fantastically done. It is early South Park, so it's still fairly edgy in a way that is not heavy-handed in a lot of things. And it's I'm not even a huge South Park person, and it is such
I was such
movie.
a big South Park fan growing up. I showed my mom recently the Jeopardy episode. She was like, "They aired that?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fucking awesome." I showed Taylor what Taylor laughed because she doesn't like South Park, but she laughed really hard at one part. I'm forgetting. Man, South Park as a whole. We should do a South Park, our favorite South Park episode. Woodland Critter Christmas. Hey,
I have the first 4 of those Blu-ray sets that they did with 5 seasons in each set, and I really hope they do a 5th one for 21 through 25.
God, how much are those?
I got mine. This is how long ago I bought them, during the last Best Buy buy 2 get 1 free sale, and they were each, I think, $45 before the discount.
Oh shit!
So I literally, I spent $90 to get 3 of them.
It's not bad.
No, for 15 seasons of South Park, that's amazing.
It's a lot of South Park.
Yeah,
that's a lot of dick jokes.
A whole lot.
Starter says, I would love to delve into anime, but the prices are consistently higher than most films I buy. My next animation endeavor will be Gary Anderson films. I agree. Anime is pretty expensive. I think Discotheque is probably the best. I'm not saying that because I'm friends with them, but but for real, like a lot of their stuff, like they put out 150 episodes of a television show in one set. They could have broken it up into 2, and I think it was like $80. So. Key Visual Arts. What's that? Can you Google that real quick?
I will. Visual Arts.
When are you going to California?
I leave the Tuesday. I think it's the 30th. It's the very last Tuesday of the month.
So we're gonna pre-record episode.
Yeah, maybe either that, or I can. We can have an episode from when I'm in Jeremy's house.
That would be cool as fuck.
Let's see. Also known as Visual Arts, key Twitter account, Japanese game and anime company.
What stuff have they put out?
Looking up Key Visual Arts did not help a whole lot, sadly. Oh, that is a all Japanese site.
You don't speak Japanese?
No.
You just gotta sound like this.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything obvious when I Google that.
You know what sucks is that a lot of those companies have like very business oriented names.
Yep.
Key Visual Arts, and they're putting out shit like
hentai or
Finger
something.
My Dragon 6, you know?
Yep.
Clanad, Angel Beats. Clanad is great. The other 2 I'm not a big fan of. Clanad's expensive. You want to talk about expensive release? It's like $100 for the Steelbook.
Dave says, no love for the California Raisins. Do you even know what the California Raisins are?
Yes, I went for California Raisins on Halloween one year.
That seems very, like, way past its prime, unless you did that the year you were born. And even then, it was past its prime. I bought that
costume from a friend's garage sale and just wore it. But I know what they are. I'm 30. I'm not fucking 22. Okay? I know what the goddamn California Raisins are, right?
What I'm getting at is I'm older than you, and when I was like 3, it was already past its prime.
Long live the California Raisins. They'll never die.
No love for them from me. Primarily because I've never spent hardly any time with them. One of the creepiest things I remember is being young and driving, I think, to Knott's Berry Farm in California, and there was some giant setup on the side of the freeway where they were like animatronic cutouts waving and blasting music. I'm like, how are the people living around here just okay with that?
Dude, our neighbor, I can hear her TV right now. She's always watching war movies. Always. I just hear bah, 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 all the time. You seem like you were a big Street Sharks fan.
No, not a big Street Sharks fan. I don't even think I've seen all of the episodes.
I love Street Sharks. What about Jackie Chan Adventures?
I honestly have never been able to track down any of it that I could find.
What about
I've wanted to. I've seen a couple clips.
Samurai Jack?
Never.
Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
I love Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
What's another good Double Dragon? Were you in the Double Dragon?
It's not my thing.
What's your favorite DC animated movie?
I mean, Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah,
sure.
That's probably it.
And then after that, probably would be Lego Batman, if you're counting that.
I think that's number one. Trying to think of like what other cartoons went from when we were kids. Thundercats?
I mean, I enjoyed it when it was on, but I never sought it out. Oh,
Gargoyles.
I loved Gargoyles.
Gargoyles fucking rocks, dude.
All of like Gargoyles, Darkwing Duck, the Rescue Rangers. Yeah, I loved all that.
Gargoyles rocks.
I liked Heathcliff for sure.
Have you ever heard of Star Bomber?
I don't think so.
There's a puppet show from the 70s that was popular. Japanese show called the Japanese name is it's X Bomber is the name that they used here. It's called Starfleet. It was huge in England to the point where the guitarist of Queen wrote he saw it on TV halfway through and he was like, I need to make you guys a theme song, and wrote a theme song for Starfleet for free because he loved it so much. And it's Starfleet, Starfleet. Dun, dun, dun. It's awesome, dude. Biker Mice from Mars. Were you a big fan of Biker Mice from Mars?
Never heard of it in my life.
What?
Nope.
What are we gonna do with you?
I loved the X-Men animated series.
Yo,
Killer theme song.
What else? Spawn. I liked the Spawn animated series.
It was decent, yeah.
That shit was fun.
I asked my wife what her answers would be, and she was like, I don't know, maybe the Rugrats movie.
Rugrats in Paris?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Jay-Z album and Kanye West album. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course.
Rugrats in Paris.
Oh, man. That was pretty good.
Bucky O'Hare?
I like, I mean, we've talked about animation quite a lot on here. I like a lot of the Warner animation. So the Hanna-Barbera stuff that was linked with that for a while, the Johnny Quest stuff, the Space Ghost.
Loves Space Ghost.
The Herculoids is good. Yeah.
Did you ever get an Adult Swim?
Yeah, a little bit. Not to a lot of it. And mostly early Adult Swim. Like I was never Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
What, dude? No,
Aqua
man.
Teen Hunger
Aqua
Force
Teen's my
person.
shit. Are you for real?
I know, and that's why I said that.
I love Aqua Teen, man. Brack Show. Did you watch the Brack Show?
A little bit, but even then, did not love it.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast. 12-ounce mouse. Assy McGee. Did you ever see Assy McGee?
It sounds familiar. I mean, this has been decades.
It's
at
a
this
cop
point,
show where the main character is an ass, like a butt, and he talks like this. It's so awesome. Xavier, is it Xavier Renegade Angel? Have you seen that?
Don't think so.
Oh man, dude. Adult Swim is like my favorite. It's like my sense of humor to a T. Venture Bros. Did you watch Venture Bros?
A little bit. Didn't love it.
Metalocalypse.
I love Metalocalypse.
Do you folks like coffee? Yeah, C-Lab 2021. Did you watch C-Lab 2021?
Nope.
What the fuck? Tom Goes to the Mayor?
Nope. Never, I just
Tim
don't.
and Eric, awesome show, great
I
job.
may have. Well, yeah, I watched Tim and Eric. I don't remember the name. Tom Goes to the Mayor.
Oh
I really like Super Jail when that was on.
Hey, yo, that's a great show. Yes, it's an acid-induced trip.
Yep.
Squidbillies.
A little bit. I never got real deep into it.
I love, dude. Adult Swim is so fucking good, man. Like, I miss high school. It'd be like Futurama, Family Guy, and then it'd be like Aqua Teen, all that shit.
And then 4 episodes of Robot Chicken.
The opening of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie was so great. If only another sequence in that movie was as good. I love. It was an Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie film for theaters. What was the name of that movie? Yeah, Moral Oral. Dude, did you watch Moral Oral? I think you would like it. You grew up with a religious family. Moral Oral is taught that masturbation is bad, and the dad doesn't really know how to explain why it's bad. And he's like, because you're killing off your seed. So Moral Oral starts putting it into like a icing baser for cakes, and then he goes around and breaks into people's houses, and it starts impregnating the entire neighborhood with his cum. It's awesome. God, hell yeah. You were not an Aqua Teen fan? That shocks me.
Well, a little bit, but also I may have watched a lot more of it. I genuinely, because so much of that time of my life was spent being verbally and like really psychologically abused by my parents, I repress a lot of those memories. So that period of my life is all a blur.
Or shit, Ryan, that sucks, man.
That was pretty good.
Thanks. That's the only thing I can do. I can do that and Miss Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Oh, listen, Gadget. Gadget. Next time.
I can't do it now. Fuck.
Sardis says Speedy Gonzales. Love that. Love all the Bugs Bunny, all the Looney Tune stuff.
What?
I don't remember a George of the Jungle cartoon.
Smiling Friends. Of course, John Stump would say that.
Gumby. Oh, Gumby. Gumby was odd.
Who's Mad Cat?
I'm assuming somebody from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I love the episode where Glenn Danzig moves in next door. And he's just like, needs more blood. Just fucking, dude, God damn it, Aqua Teen. Well, this has been the Aqua Teen Hunger Force fan cast.
With Flip and Clueless.
Not animation, but also I enjoyed The Heart She Holler. George of the Jungle was a Jay Ward, Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon.
Rocky and Bullwinkle was great. I grew up in a town in Southern California that had a like an entertainment park. It wasn't a theme park. There was no rides or anything like that except for like bumper cars, but it was called Bullwinkles, and it was the only one, as far as I'm aware, in the country. And they were literally sponsored by Rocky and Bullwinkles. And the big thing, they had palm trees in the parking lot that were molded to be in the shape of Bullwinkle's antlers.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were closed down for like 20 years and they just reopened.
Let's go.
I would love to, genuinely. I used to go there all the time because I live so close.
Hey, if you hit like $1,000 on your Patreon, we gotta do an episode where me and you go to a theme park.
$1,000. Speaking of 1,000, I just got 1,000 subs on my channel finally. Thanks, John.
Woo!
Appreciate that.
I just woke up my kid with that, but yeah, dude, 1,000. Congratulations, brother.
Yeah, thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, literally during this stream.
That's fucking incredible. I love you. Come here, give me a kiss. Bagetti.
That was very Italian.
Bagetti. Ti amo. Suga la minghia.
Oh, thanks.
Good. I mean, suck my dick.
I know.
Everybody, we need to give this emoji in the chat for Ryan, all right?
Thank you, everybody.
Well, do you want to wrap it up?
Absolutely.
And everyone should be wrapping it up now because Congress is about to reverse Roe v. Wade. So you should definitely be wrapping your tool or you'll be paying child support like a fool.
Congress can't reverse Roe v. Wade. It is the Supreme
Sorry,
Court.
the Supreme Court. Whatever. Fuck this country.
Anyways, that's an odd way to end the stream. Have a good night, everybody.
We love this country. Let me tell you.
See you.